It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. You've likely been speaking certain promises or declarations over your life, words about abundance, healing, breakthroughs, or divine purpose. And right now, I'm here to tell you that this is your appointed time. As a chosen one, you're not just daydreaming. You've been ushered into a season where what you've been speaking is about to manifest. But before we go deeper, remember to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment with 77 below to send a powerful signal to the universe. Feel free to play this message repeatedly to anchor it in your spirit. If you truly are among the chosen, you'll stay until the very end. If not, you'll probably exit before these truths can take root in your life. Chapter 1. Recognizing your own words as seeds. One of the most profound truths about being a chosen one is realizing that your words are never idle. Each sentence you speak carries energy, shaping your reality in ways most people ignore. You've likely noticed how certain declarations, be they positive or negative, tend to echo back into your experiences. It's no coincidence that phrases you repeat, like "I always struggle" or "I'm destined for greatness," somehow find their way into becoming self-fulfilling. This is because, as a chosen soul, your utterances hold spiritual weight, acting like seeds planted in the fertile ground of possibility. Think about the watchers, those unseen forces observing your journey. They pay special attention whenever you articulate your visions, desires, or convictions. Your words, whether whispered in prayer, stated in conversation, or jotted in a journal, send ripples to the cosmos. People you meet every day might dismiss it as mere superstition. Talk is cheap, they say, but you know differently. Talk is potent. For someone walking in divine alignment, the watchers take note, especially if your intention is clear and heartfelt. Of course, the effect isn't always instant. Seeds don't sprout the moment they're planted. There's a season for germination, growth, and eventual harvest. During that in-between, you might have felt moments of doubt. Is anything actually changing? Only to find subtle confirmations, chance encounters, repeated symbols, or inner nudges. These are the watcher's gentle ways of reminding you that your words are in the process of blossoming. Faith in the unseen timeline is part of the test. Yet not every seed you plant is beneficial. Careless words spoken in anger or despair can sow weeds that choke out fruitful growth. Perhaps you once labeled yourself unlucky or not good enough, and found evidence piling up to confirm that negativity. But here's the shift. Once you realize you're chosen, you gain authority to uproot those old harmful seeds and replant intentional, life-giving statements. The watchers wholeheartedly support each pivot from negative to positive, readjusting conditions so the new seeds have space to flourish. You might ask, how do I ensure the words I speak align with what I truly want? It begins with self-awareness. Monitor your casual remarks, your jokes, even your self-talk. If your language echoes lack or pessimism, consciously swap it with statements that mirror divine promises. People might accuse you of being unrealistic or cheesy. Let them. You're not catering to cynics. You're aligning your speech with the watcher's vision for you. Over time, you'll notice a radical shift. The watchers notice it too, accelerating the manifestation process because you're consistently voicing the reality they've been orchestrating behind the scenes. So as you stand on the brink of receiving what you've been speaking, reflect on the seeds you've sown. Recognize that each declaration, big or small, was never wasted. Even if you planted them in moments of desperation, the watchers see the sincerity behind them. Now that the season of harvest arrives, you realize with fresh wonder that your lips weren't just venting or daydreaming, they were shaping the future. And in this appointed time, those seeds are ripe for reaping, affirming once again that your words indeed carry the power of life and transformation. Chapter 2. Why this is your appointed time. Many chosen souls endure long stretches of perceived silence or stagnation, wondering if their prayers and declarations have gone unheard. It can feel excruciating, pouring your heart out yet seeing no tangible shift. You might even doubt your calling, suspecting you misread divine signals. People you meet every day might say, maybe it's not meant to be, or lower your expectations. But deep down, a quiet voice insists there's more at play. that God's timing is orchestrating events behind the curtain of normalcy. The watchers operate outside human constraints. They see when your heart and environment align to support the words you've been speaking. This alignment can take months or years, leading you to believe your chance has expired. Yet the watchers never forget the seeds you sow with your words. If those words align with your destiny and higher purpose, they remain in spiritual escrow, ready to manifest the moment conditions ripen. That ripening is what we call an appointed time. It's not random happenstance, but a precisely calibrated moment when everything converges for a sudden breakthrough. One reason that moment is now is the shift in your own frequency. You've likely noticed personal growth in areas you once neglected. Maybe you've forgiven old hurts, refined your daily habits, or stepped out in faith to serve others. These shifts aren't trivial lifestyle changes. They're signals to the watchers that you can handle the blessings your words have beckoned. As your readiness becomes evident, the watchers coordinate the external realm accordingly, accelerating the open doors, resources, or relationships you need to fulfill what you've been speaking. Additionally, the watchers take into account the timing required for others connected to your mission. If your vision involves collaborative success, like launching a venture or forging a relationship, those involved also need to be prepared. Perhaps your partner needed to resolve certain personal issues, or a future mentor had to settle their commitments first. Now that all relevant parties stand at readiness, the watchers spring the trap of destiny, pulling everything together at once. It feels abrupt, but it's been methodically brewing. Your appointed time also arrives when a cosmic window opens. Astrological alignments, shifting collective energies, or societal changes might create the perfect backdrop for your words to bear fruit. People might dismiss astrology or spiritual energies as superstition, but you sense the watchers factoring these dimensions in. When conditions align externally and internally, unstoppable momentum ensues. You'll find you move in sync with a greater current, carrying you faster than self-effort alone could achieve. Thus, calling this your appointed time isn't sensationalism. It's the watchers revealing that each day of faithful speaking, every bit of self-improvement, and all that seeming delay was orchestrated for maximum impact. Now that all puzzle pieces click together, you stand at the threshold, no longer chanting your dreams into a void, but stepping into the reality they shaped. Instead of lamenting the wait, you'll see the watchers used it to refine you, ensuring you're not just receiving, but retaining the blessings about to unfold. Because in this new chapter, you're not merely tasting a fleeting success, you're anchored in a destiny that your own voice called forth ages ago. Chapter 3. Silencing the doubters, internal and external. Though you might feel a surge of anticipation for what's about to manifest, doubts can creep in, both from within and from people around you. Friends, family, or colleagues you meet every day might question your newfound confidence, cautioning you not to get your hopes up. This external skepticism can rub against internal whispers like, "Is this really going to happen?" Or, "What if I'm deluding myself?" As a chosen one, you must identify and silence these doubt voices to fully embrace the blessings about to land. Step 1 is distinguishing between constructive caution and crippling doubt. Constructive caution might remind you to do your research or avoid naive pitfalls. These are wise guidelines. Crippling doubt, however, paralyzes you, making you second-guess your entire calling. When you sense anxiety overshadowing your usual hope, you likely face the latter. A practical solution is to revisit the times you overcame adversity or witnessed minor miracles. Each recollection reaffirms that the watchers have consistently had your back. By anchoring in past triumphs, you dissolve the inertia of doubt. Moreover, respond to external doubters with calm clarity, not aggressive defensiveness. Some might say, "We don't see any evidence yet. Why are you so sure?" Resist the urge to argue at length. Instead, you can succinctly affirm, "I've seen enough signs to trust this." People might roll their eyes, but you're not seeking their validation. Your confidence arises from an internal resonance with the watcher's signals plus the spiritual muscle you've developed. Over-explaining can sometimes feed negativity. Let your actions and unfolding results speak louder than any debate. In parallel, watch out for subtle sabotage from those who claim to support you, but consistently sow seeds of doubt or negativity. Their disguised cynicism might erode your optimism if you're not vigilant. It's okay to love them from a distance, limiting the influence their words have on your psyche. The watchers pay attention to how you guard your mental and emotional space. This boundary setting is crucial for sustaining the energy needed to birth your manifested promises. Another technique to hush internal doubts is speaking positive counter-declarations. If a nagging thought says, "You're not worthy," calmly override it with, "I'm chosen, prepared, and worthy of every good thing." Some may label affirmations as cheesy, but for chosen souls, words carry immense power. By intentionally voicing truth, you drown out the negativity. Coupled with consistent faith-based action, like continuing any project or skill building that supports your upcoming blessing, these declarations anchor your soul in unwavering confidence. Lastly, remember that doubt often flares right before the tipping point. The watchers sometimes allow that final test to see if you cave. If you remain steadfast, you break through stronger. People might interpret your calm under pressure as arrogance or ignorance, but in reality, it's the result of your communion with the watchers, your recollection of past miracles, and a decision not to let fleeting fear sabotage a destiny you've spent countless prayers speaking into existence. Once doubt is subdued, the path for your spoken promises to materialize becomes clear, reinforcing the watcher's message that this is indeed your appointed time. Chapter 4. Harmonizing your words with actions. As the watchers set the stage for what you've been declaring, your actions must align with your spoken promises. Otherwise, you risk accusations of talking big but doing little. Faith-based speech without matching behavior tends to fizzle. Yet when your proclamations and actions unite, they form a synergy that virtually ensures manifestation. Think of your words as seeds and your actions as the water and sunlight. Even a potent seed remains dormant without consistent nurturing. Many chosen ones speak affirmations about wealth or influence, but never adjust their daily habits to welcome such blessings. You might say, "I have abundance," yet keep procrastinating or undermining financial discipline. The watchers see this contradiction and interpret it as indecision. Aligning practical steps, budgets, skill building, or a disciplined schedule reveals you truly expect what you declare. Another dimension is authenticity in relationships and work. Proclaiming a dream job is near, while slacking in your current role signals you're unprepared for promotion. The watchers often delay your reward until your attitude and ethic confirm readiness. Giving your best, even in the in-between role, respects the watcher's training process and hastens your desired future. Likewise, declaring divine favor or moral leadership while indulging harmful habits fosters internal conflict. The watchers gauge your heart, not just your words. If toxic patterns undercut your integrity, your grand declarations may fall flat. That's why many chosen souls feel nudged to detach from destructive influences before breakthroughs. Purging them readies your vessel for the next level you've been speaking into reality. On a practical note, draft a simple plan correlating to each major statement. If you've proclaimed, "I'm launching my own business," sketch a business outline or approach a mentor. If you've declared, "I'm destined for healing," adopt healthier routines or seek professional help. By pairing speech with tangible progress, you prove your words aren't idle fantasies. Others might question your new habits or financial restraint, but your unwavering stance signals you're serious about the watcher's timeline. Ultimately, harmonizing words with deeds solidifies your readiness for the watchers. Those who make lofty declarations but take no steps remain stuck in longing. By aligning speech and action, you enter a flow where each day's effort paves the way for the watchers to deliver what you've prophesied over your life. This synergy marks a new maturity level, proving you're not just a dreamer, but a doer, fully prepared for the flood of blessings now heading in your direction. Chapter 5. The Divine Multiplier Effect. One fascinating aspect of being a chosen soul is that what you've been speaking doesn't merely come back in equal measure. It often returns multiplied. People you meet every day might dismiss the concept of reaping more than you sow, but the watchers consistently demonstrate that spiritual principles don't adhere to standard logic. If you plant good words in support of actions, the harvest can eclipse your initial efforts beyond recognition. This multiplier effect isn't random generosity from the universe. It's how cosmic laws respond to sincere faith and effort. Think of it as a spiritual investment portfolio. Each prayer or declaration you sow accrues interest over time. The watchers see your perseverance in the face of adversity, your unwavering positivity in a negative environment, and the small charitable deeds you perform daily. Each item adds to your cosmic principle, waiting for the watchers to release the multiplied returns at the moment, best serving your destiny. Surprisingly, even your struggles can multiply blessings. If you consistently respond to hardship with resilience, gratitude, and empathy, the watchers convert that into an expanded capacity for leadership or influence. People might pity your trials, yet behind the scenes, those very hardships stockpile spiritual equity. So when your appointed time arrives, you're not just collecting on your spoken affirmations, but also reaping from the resilience you displayed during storms. God doesn't delight in your pain, but he capitalizes on every adversity to enrich you further. Another facet is synergy with others. If you spend time speaking life into people, supporting their visions, or encouraging them in despair, you sow intangible seeds in their hearts. The watchers can prompt these individuals to reciprocate unexpectedly. Maybe they recommend you for a prominent position, or they invest in your dream project. Some might call this networking, but chosen souls recognize the watchers weaving these connections, amplifying your seeds of kindness into grand harvests. It's more than simple reciprocity, it's spiritual multiplication. Of course, the flip side applies. Negative words or actions can boomerang with multiplied consequences. This is why the watchers urge caution with your tongue. One malicious statement can reverberate widely if left uncorrected. People might call it karma or what goes around comes around, but for a chosen one, it's a divine principle that underscores responsibility. You can't sow poison and expect a sweet harvest. Hence, you double down on ensuring your speech, even in challenging moments, remains constructive, or at least not destructive. All in all, the divine multiplier effect clarifies why your new season of receiving what you've been speaking could surpass anything you imagine. You didn't only sow words, you sowed integrity, generosity, perseverance, and faith through multiple chapters of your life. The watchers gather these intangible credits over time, preparing a sudden outpour that dwarfs your initial contributions. People may question how you soared so high so fast, but your inner circle and the watchers know you've been accumulating spiritual assets for this very moment, making the final payoff not just a simple return, but an exponential one, crowned by the grace that only God can dispense. Chapter 6. Preparing your heart for new levels of influence. Once you receive what you've been declaring, whether it's financial breakthrough, a platform to share your message, or a long-desired relationship, your influence inevitably expands. Contrary to popular belief, greater influence isn't just perks and applause. As a chosen one, you recognize that bigger influence brings bigger responsibility. If your heart isn't ready, the blessing can become a burden. That's why the watchers prompt you to prepare internally as external opportunities arrive. First, anchor yourself in humility. With more eyes on you, ego can creep in. You might start viewing yourself as the sole reason for your success, forgetting divine orchestration or the support of teachers. While you should celebrate your wins, acknowledge that your journey isn't entirely self-made. Staying humble allows you to handle new attention without arrogance corroding your spiritual core. Second, steward relationships and audiences with care. If you've envisioned speaking to thousands, once they appear, their questions and struggles partly land in your hands. You'll be responsible for offering guidance aligned with empathy and moral clarity. The watchers often test this on smaller scales first, a small following or a handful of messages, before enlarging your platform. Passing these initial tests with compassion and integrity leads to rapid doors opening. Third, manage your mental and emotional well-being. Rapid expansion, like an overnight viral moment or sudden cash influx, can trigger stress and burnout if you're not careful. Some might say, just enjoy the ride, but as a chosen soul, you plan ahead, scheduling rest, surrounding yourself with accountability partners, and nurturing spiritual habits help you stay grounded amid new demands. Fourth, remain teachable. Each level of growth demands fresh learning, leadership courses, deeper spiritual study, or new collaborations. If you cling to old methods in a changing environment, you risk losing momentum. Stay humble enough to welcome new mentors and resources, keeping your heart flexible and your skills sharp. Lastly, watch for pitfalls. Fame or power can draw manipulative people or ethical dilemmas that tempt you to compromise. Remember your vow to use blessings ethically and for a higher cause. Prepare your heart so it remains uncorrupted, letting you stand firm in your mission no matter the pressure. Ultimately, greater influence goes far beyond finances or platform. It's about holistic readiness. If your heart stays rooted in humility, empathy, and constant growth, you'll be a trustworthy conduit for divine blessings. Your calm confidence will perplex observers, but it stems from knowing your soul stands on integrity, freeing the watchers to elevate you further without fear that their gifts will be squandered. Chapter 7. Stepping boldly into your appointed time. Now that you've harnessed the power of your words, aligned with perfect timing, anchored your actions, and fortified your heart, it's time to stride into what's coming. This message reached you before it all happens, so you can't say you were caught off guard. Others might remain unaware of the magnitude of your transformation, and that's fine. Your mission isn't to convince them, it's to honor your calling and receive the blessings you've long declared. Stepping boldly doesn't require fanfare. Often it's a quiet, unwavering acceptance that you are who you've proclaimed yourself to be. Doubts or a last-minute trial may appear, but you've learned these tests confirm how near your breakthrough is. Rather than falter, you charge ahead, guided by the watchers and fueled by faith. Whether it involves signing that contract, making that call, or finally saying yes, do it wholeheartedly. Reaffirm your vow to use your blessings for more than self-gain. The watchers favor chosen souls who transform personal triumph into communal benefit. You might direct newly acquired resources to philanthropic causes or leverage a larger platform to amplify worthy voices. Cynics may scoff, but as a chosen one, you recognize that you're blessed to bless others. It's not naive charity, it's true spiritual stewardship. Stay sensitive to ongoing whispers from the watchers. This appointed time could mark the finale of one chapter and the prelude to another. As you cross this threshold, fresh corridors may emerge, leading to expansions you hadn't imagined. People may call it success upon success, but you know it's simply faithfulness in one realm unlocking the next. No need to apologize for or doubt your blessings. If acquaintances struggle to grasp your swift ascent, offer grace. They haven't witnessed your hours of prayer, reflection, or quiet hustle aligning your spoken declarations with consistent action. If expectations from a growing audience weigh on you, rely on your spiritual disciplines and humility to stay grounded, remembering you're not the ultimate source, God or the universe is. Above all, rejoice that you're entering what you once only spoke of in hope. Let gratitude fuel your synergy with the watchers. While some might attribute your rise to mere luck, you know it's the culmination of faith, labor, words, unwavering dedication, and divine orchestration. This is your appointed time. Stand tall, breathe deep, and step forward, fully aware you're living the destiny you once dared to whisper.